It was a cold, foggy evening in London when Detective Inspector Arthur Grayson received the call. The city was buzzing with the latest technological advancements, and cryptocurrencies were the talk of the town. But amidst the excitement, a shadow loomed, a shadow that would soon turn into a nightmare. The body of a young man, barely in his 30s, was found in a dimly lit alley near the financial district. His name was Ethan Cole, a brilliant programmer and a rising star in the world of blockchain technology. Cause of death was unclear, but one thing was certain: this was no ordinary murder. Detective Grayson arrived at the scene, his sharp eyes scanning the area. The victim's laptop was missing, and his phone had been wiped clean. The only clue was a small, cryptic note clutched in his hand. It read, "The key lies in the code." Grayson, a seasoned detective with a knack for solving the most perplexing cases, knew this was no ordinary crime. He had heard whispers of a mysterious figure known only as the Crypto Killer, a shadowy hacker who targeted those involved in the cryptocurrency world. But until now, it had been nothing more than urban legend. The investigation begins. Grayson's first stop was Ethan's apartment. The place was a mess, papers scattered everywhere, whiteboards filled with complex equations, and a wall covered in sticky notes with phrases like blockchain, private key, and decentralized ledger. It was clear Ethan had been working on something big. On his desk, Grayson found a half-empty coffee cup and a notebook filled with scribbled code. Among the notes, one phrase stood out: "Beware the Crypto Killer." Grayson's assistant, Constable Emily Carter, joined him at the apartment. "Sir, I've been looking into Ethan's background. He was working on a new cryptocurrency project called Nextcoin. It was supposed to revolutionize the industry, but it never launched." "Any idea why?" Grayson asked, flipping through the notebook. "Rumors say he discovered a flaw in the system, a vulnerability that could be exploited. Maybe someone didn't want that information getting out." Grayson nodded. "We need to find out who knew about this project. Start with his colleagues and business partners. The suspects." The investigation led Grayson and Carter to three key individuals: Victor Langston, Ethan's business partner and co-founder of Nextcoin. A charismatic but ruthless entrepreneur, Victor had a reputation for cutting corners to get ahead. Dr. Sarah Mitchell, a cryptography expert who consulted on the Nextcoin project. She was known for her brilliance, but had a strained relationship with Ethan due to creative differences. Marcus Reed, a rival programmer who had been trying to launch his own cryptocurrency. Marcus had publicly criticized Ethan's work, calling it amateurish and full of holes. Grayson decided to interview each of them, starting with Victor Langston. The interviews. Victor Langston was calm and collected when Grayson and Carter arrived at his office. "Ethan's death is a tragedy," he said, leaning back in his chair. "But I had nothing to do with it. We had our disagreements, but I respected his work." "Did you know about the flaw he discovered in Nextcoin?" Grayson asked. Victor hesitated. "Flaw? What flaw?" Nextcoin was perfect. Ethan was paranoid, always looking for problems where there weren't any. Grayson didn't buy it. Victor's nervous demeanor suggested he was hiding something. Next, they visited Dr. Sarah Mitchell at her university lab. She was more forthcoming. "Ethan was onto something big," she said. "He found a way to hack into any cryptocurrency wallet. If that information got out, it would destroy the entire industry." "Do you think someone killed him to keep it quiet?" Carter asked. "It's possible," Sarah replied. "But I didn't do it. I warned him to be careful, but he didn't listen." Finally, they tracked down Marcus Reed at a local coffee shop. He was defensive from the start. Ethan was a fraud, he snapped. His so-called revolutionary project was a joke. But I didn't kill him. I didn't need to. His work would have fallen apart on its own. The breakthrough. Back at the station, Grayson reviewed the evidence. The cryptic note, the missing laptop, the wiped phone, it all pointed to one thing. The killer was after Ethan's code. Then, Carter made a discovery. Sir, I found something in Ethan's notebook. It's a string of numbers and letters, looks like a password or a key. Grayson's eyes lit up. That's it. The killer must be trying to access Ethan's work. We need to find out what this key unlocks. Using the key, they accessed a hidden folder on Ethan's cloud storage. Inside was a file titled Nextcoin Vulnerability. It contained detailed instructions on how to exploit the flaw Ethan had discovered. But there was something else, a list of names. Victor Langston, Dr. Sarah Mitchell, Marcus Reed, and several others were on it. At the bottom of the list was a chilling message. The crypto killer is watching. The trap. Grayson realized the killer was still out there, and they were targeting everyone on the list. He decided to set a trap. Using Ethan's code as bait, he lured the killer into revealing themselves. That night, Grayson and Carter waited in Ethan's apartment, the lights off and the laptop open. Hours passed, and just as they were about to give up, the door creaked open. A figure stepped inside, their face hidden in the shadows. They approached the laptop, their fingers hovering over the keyboard. "Stop right there," Grayson shouted, flipping on the lights. The figure froze. It was Victor Langston. "You?" Carter exclaimed. "But why?" Victor smirked. Ethan was going to ruin everything. Nextcoin was my life's work, and he wanted to expose its flaws. I couldn't let that happen. Grayson stepped forward. "You killed him to protect your reputation. But you made one mistake. You underestimated us." Victor lunged for the laptop, but Grayson was quicker. He tackled Victor to the ground, and Carter cuffed him. The aftermath. With Victor in custody, the case was closed. But Grayson couldn't shake the feeling that the crypto killer's legacy would live on. The world of cryptocurrency was still a wild frontier, full of secrets and dangers. As he stood by the Thames, watching the fog roll in, Grayson knew one thing for certain. In a world driven by code, the line between genius and madness was razor thin. And somewhere out there, another mystery was waiting to be solved. "Do you think someone killed him to keep it quiet?" Carter asked.